Well, I think that went rather well, don't you?
Oh, it's brilliant.
I think Tom was best.
If you say so.
Oh, look.
What?
The camera's still running.
What?
That's right, Hartley. That's because it's... time to talk about old times.
So then, Tom. Jonathan. Let's talk about your time on Pipkins.
You have lovely eyes, Hartley, you know that, don't you?
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes. Do you have another pair?
I do, yes. I've got some in the car.
Yes. Perhaps I can have a look at them later. And you're an interesting colour. You seem to have changed colour.
I have. Well, I've had a bit of a refurb.
Have you?
Yes.
It suits you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Quick dye in the old tumble dryer. Now, tell me,
the question.
How did you come to be in the programme?
Well, appropriately, and I felt a good piece of research by the casting director. I was in The Merchant of Venice at Westcliff Rep in 19... and I was playing Tubal and assorted policemen and people standing around coming on with whatever you came on with, spears and whatever, and the casting director and the director, Michael Jeans, thought he is the man for Pipkins. Now, personally, I don't quite know how they made the connection, but they did, and I ended up doing it.
Well, they certainly got their pound of flesh, didn't they?
Very quick. Very amusing.
You didn't know I knew Shakespeare,
No,
did you?
I didn't. It's good.
Well, then tell me, have you any cherished memories of Pipkins? You know, aside from the wonderful memories you must have had with working with me.
No.
Oh, not at all.
Yes, I do, really.
Go on and tell me.
I enjoyed the moments where we would just go through the rehearsals and you didn't have the puppet. You were actually over there to the side and it would just be naked hands and I would perform to them. I enjoyed that. That was a very cherished moment. And cherished moments. I enjoyed the period where we shifted from the studios where you had to perform on the ground, the puppeteer, I should say, had to perform on the ground, to where like in the next studio we had the Muppets, and we were like junior Muppets, and they put the set up onto stilts practically. So I had to be on a higher level so that Nigel, your operator, could who was here, could just walk on. Quite normally instead of being stuck on the ground, and I would then be on the set. The problem was up in the air was that the Muppets kept stealing bits of the set, like the walkways to the doors, so I had to actually, if you look at some of the episodes, I have to push doors like that because I'm on the very edge of the set, and also they would wobble because we had metal ones and they took them away for next door for the Muppets. And
so you were teetering around a lot?
There was a lot of teetering around, yes. I did that. I'm a good teeterer, apparently.
Well, I don't know what about you, but I worked my little paws off. What was the experience like for you?
Every day I was taken home in an ambulance. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes, I thought it. And that white jacket they gave you.
Yes. They wrapped all the way around.
That's right, yes.
Yeah. I found it, from an acting point of view, it was quite tricky because we got given a lot of lines in a very short space of time, so I found I had to try and learn them very quickly. And but it was a very enjoyable period. It was my first job, I think, out of university, and after the experience of doing the Shakespeare, so it was. I think I did an Agatha Christie as well, and something else. I'm still bemused as how I ever got cast for Pipkins, but I did, and they spotted something, and yes.
Well, there's one question I've been meaning to ask you for 25 years.
Oh yes.
Why did you leave us? Well, and don't tell me that you ran away with the circus. I know that.
I think at the time I wanted to go and do some. Serious acting. I mean, you mean we're talking as Jonathan, as opposed to Tom?
Yes, as you, Jonathan.
Yes, indeed. But I was also sacked. So it's quite simple. I was just asked. I was asked to leave.
I see.
That was.
So your time with us was through.
Through, yes.
You moved on.
I did.
Yes. What did you do after Pipkins?
A variety of things. A lot of comedy, lots of comedy series, bits of... I worked with Bertrand Tavernier in a French film once. That was only about 5 years ago, in fact. A series called Chambers, lots of radio, lots of commercials, lots of voiceovers. I do lots of voiceovers. I did the Ferrero Rocher ad. I did Eccellente. I did the Ambassador's Reception. I did... I'm doing the L'Oreal. I've been the voice of L'Oreal for 4 years at the moment, which is so I say women. Apparently, they like me for cosmetics. I've got a cosmetics type of voice apparently when I'm quite deep down there. But lots of characters, lots of cartoons. I do Hagrid in for Harry Potter in the CD-ROMs. He's a bit like that, you know. I do. Who I'll do Peeves in the CD-ROMs. He's all ghosty like that as well. So I not having ever done any voices in Pipkins other than the Lambton Worm. I think I played the worm for a bit for that episode.
Yes, you did.
I've done lots of voice work and lots of voice work and comedy stuff mostly. So.
Well, you mentioned the Lambton Worm. Now, some of the episodes on this DVD, including the Lambton Worm, that's Let's Make an Opera, they were they survived thanks to you, I believe.
Indeed, yes, I copied all of them on the ancient format of Betamax and kept them all in a rack in a library and gave them to Nigel Plaskett.
Oh, yes, you did, yes.
Indeed.
Now, I see you were in one episode of One Foot in the Grave.
Yes, in fact, I was in One Foot in the Grave twice. I played Chippy Joe and Market Stall Holder. Yes. But Chippy Joe had a rather camp moustache, which I won't be putting on for the moment, but I think this is the episode that you're referring to.
That's
yes.
right. Well, could we recreate that bit now?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Could I be Victor Meldrew?
Yeah, of course, I'd love you to be.
Can I come to the door?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
yeah.
hold on, I'm going to go off and I'll
yes.
come on again. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm opening the door. Hello?
Good heavens, it's Tom from Pipkins. I don't believe it.
Yes, I don't really believe it either. So, is there anything you want to add about what you did when you'd finished leaving with Pipkins?
Well, when I finished Pipkins.
Yeah.
Well, we helped poor Mrs. McNamara. Yes. She had 25 years of living next door to a house full of helpful animals.
Difficult for her.
Yes, she must be at her wit's end, I think.
Yes.
I hope she doesn't watch. Oh!
Comedy moment. Anything else that you've been up to?
I'm much in demand on the TV pundit circuit, you know.
Yeah.
I've seen some of my numerous guest appearances, as I'm sure you have.
Many
I've
of
seen them all.
Many of you haven't aged.
I haven't.
What wrinkle cream do you use?
Well, I couldn't tell you.
No.
I couldn't tell you. Can't mention any names here.
No, no publicity, yeah. No advertising, yeah.
I recently gave old Zippy and Bungle a hard time on Channel 4, and of course, actually it was Zippy and George. And of course, you must have seen me mooning in front of Michael Jackson at the Brit Awards.
Wasn't that Jarvis Cocker?
Oh, well, it looked like Michael Jackson to me. I was misinformed. I thought Michael Jeans was going to be there.
Very good. Do I ask you a question now?
Yes, you say to me, are there any plans for the future?
Oh, yes, Hartley. Have you got any plans for the future?
Well, I've been asked to go on a new reality TV show. It's called I'm a Glove Puppet, Get Me Out of Here.
Very good.
Yeah, they want Pig for the next series of Celebrity Love Island. Phew. So,
What role will he be playing?
I don't know.
He'll be on the spit with him.
I think he will.
Yes.
Right, that's it then. Cup of tea. So, Liz, let's start with a question that one rarely hears in interviews. What was it like playing the part of a naughty monkey?
A naughty monkey? That's how you see Topov?
Well, he was a naughty monkey.
No, not really, Hartley. No, he wasn't.
No?
Occasionally he might have done something that was a bit, perhaps not quite right. But he was never really naughty. I mean, the naughty character, I'm going to be honest about this,
Yes.
was you.
What?
It was.
Me?
Yes, you.
What? I was never naughty.
You were. I'm afraid you were lots and lots of times.
Oh, well,
I
maybe.
think of that puppet Michael.
Michael, my puppet, yes.
Yes, indeed, indeed. You were very naughty with Michael.
I was.
You were.
Well, you're probably right. Yes.
I know I'm right.
Now, you had a hand in working Topov, didn't you? What was it like?
I had a hand in working Topov. Well, I enjoyed working Topov. It was good fun. It was quite uncomfortable sometimes, and I think you may know about that.
Yes.
The uncomfortableness of having a hand in a puppet. But it was always great fun.
How about the other characters? I believe you manipulated some of them.
I did. Well, I first and foremost was Pig.
Oh.
And Octavia.
Yes.
Because I took over from Heather, and Heather was Pig and Octavia.
That's Heather Tobias.
Heather Tobias, that well-known person. And so I came in and I did Pig.
Oh, yes.
Which I enjoyed.
Yes.
But when Lorraine left, Lorraine Bertorelli, and Annie Rutter came in, Annie had a deeper voice than I did. And because Topov was the character, he was the sort of younger character, I moved over to play Topov.
What would you say Topov's role is?
Well, I say Topov's role is being the character that asks the questions that the children want to know the answers to. So that's why he's a young character. He's young, he's innocent, he's sweet. And not naughty, not a bit.
Yes. Well, perhaps you're right.
I think I am.
Probably was naughty occasionally. But anyway,
okay,
how did you get into Pipkins? I mean, I rang the doorbell.
You
How did you get into Pipkins?
Well, I got into Pipkins because when Heather knew she was going to leave, I knew Heather. And I'd worked with the Playboy Puppet Theatre company, which Heather had also done. But I worked with them for about a year, and then I did another little stint with them. So I'd been doing quite a lot of puppeteering.
Yes.
And Heather thought she would recommend me to Michael Jeans, who was the director and the producer of Pipkins. So I went to see Michael, and I showed him how I could do my lip sync with my hand and all of that. And he said, okay, and I did some voices for him, and he said, okay, you can join Pipkins. And that's how I became a Pipkins person, a Pipkins puppeteer.
And what do you do when you're not playing the part of a a monkey?
You mean, what do I do in the rest of my life?
Yes.
Well, mostly I write stories.
Oh, what sort of stories?
I write stories. I've written stories about ponies. I've written stories about a magic pony. And at the moment, I'm writing stories about fairies.
Oh.
I know. Fairies at the bottom of the garden.
Yes. Are these published stories?
Well, yes, they are.
Oh, you soon get them in books.
You can get them in books. And Magic Pony, you can get, yes, they've just been re-released, so there's lots of Magic Pony stories to go and read now. And the fairy stories, it's called Fairy Charm School, I'm writing right now. So you're going to have a bit of a wait for those, I'm afraid.
So here we are in 2005. That's 8:05 in old money. And how do you think Pipkins stands up today?
Well, it was very interesting because I hadn't seen a Pipkins episode for a very, very long time. And when I knew that these Pipkins episodes were going to be released, I looked over and over again at some of the scripts, and I thought they were really good. Very funny, not frenetic like so many children's programmes are now. I think they work really well. They really stand up to time. Excellent scripts. They really are.
Yes. One or two good performances too.
Yes, and of course, yes. Some very good performances from one or two people.
Yes.
Especially
one in particular, yes.
Of course, Hartley. There's no question that you are a star.
No,
I know. Let me tickle your ears.
You're so right. Well, Liz, I think that's about wraps it up.
Does it?
Yes. Thank you very much for talking to me.
It's been a great pleasure, Hartley.
Thank you.